think I'm live. Yeah, I am. Oh wow. Okay, I'm going to be doing programming tonight. Just a little bit of well, you clicked it and you read the title. Um, just gonna be messing around in Java, making an application that I've been putting off for a long time. I made a video last night. I ended up deleting it because I wasn't happy with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen in a moment and then get started. Try to make sure I can get good quality so you can actually see what's going on. Last time I reviewed the video and it was in really low quality. There we go, now it's recording in HD. Hopefully when I start sharing screens it won't say. I'm gonna close this out because I'm gonna kill my bandwidth and shut that. Let's reshare entire screen, unfortunately. And there we go. The last mistake was actually really funny. This little window right here is the frame for sharing. And instead of hitting hide, I hit stop sharing and recorded like an hour of me not recording my screen teaching programming. But let's open up the folder I'm going to be working in today. I'm going to be making let me see. So here's the code for the game I've been working on, Lost in Darkness 2. More code for that game, more code for that game. Then the Pong game I worked on last night, which would be this game right here. I never finished it. I was going to import some graphics and make the computer, which is a green panel, have some more functionality and different difficulties and stuff like that, but never got around to it. Apparently, I don't know how to. Okay, there we go. But I never finished that out. I might finish that in another video. I'm not sure it's already finished for the most part, like the engine. Next is just polishing it, so all this can, I don't know, it's pointless. Yeah, I have a to-do right there to add images, sounds, polish the game, add difficulties. That can go. The key handler for that game can go. That is a part of the toolkit I'm creating. That's not done yet. That can go. More Pong stuff. That can go. And let me explain here. I have this thing called DoodlePad right here. It's been started. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is take this and just go ahead and backspace it. I already have the license in, which is absolutely perfect. And, okay, that's all. I don't need the import statement. It's in the default package, which is great. That's fine. I already have the little description I made in the comment header with the GNU, the stupid software license I use. I do open source software, so on my website you can see everything that I have. Let's see. Source code's there, all that good stuff. Delicious. Okay. I already have it set up. I have the applications folder in my little folder where I keep everything, and I have Pad Studio, which is going to be, this is actually really old software. This is from last year. Over a year ago, I wrote this. This is a little text editor. I cannot type again. Come on, give me the X. Oh, God, not there. There we go. And style it up, yo. I think it's control and up. There we go. I created this about a year ago, just messing around. Very basic. But the idea behind it, oh, it went away, was great. I'm gonna redo this. This is now entitled QuickPad Slim instead of QuickPad 1.0, which it originally was the very first rendition of this. I can open, save, and close, and do all that. So QuickPad number 2 is coming. that's going to be part of my pad studio. It's going to be just little software applications that make things quick, just like my calculator that you can download. Who doesn't like a calculator that's been made by scratch? I mean, come on. But another part of this pad studio is Launchpad, which is a finished piece of software. It is also Launchpad number 2 because I've had a Launchpad before, but when my hard drive crashed, I had lost all my code. This is basically a hub for launching applications. But what you're going to see me working on today is going to be DoodlePad, which is going to be just a simple painting thing, where you can like jot stuff down, draw images, and save them. I'm going to start with a basic functionality, and then go from there. And hopefully try to explain myself as I do this. It's very hard to explain it because I mean it's something that I've never spoken about. I just kind of do it. Other than that, I just think my file system should be set. If my file system is not set, I need to set it right now. So applications, I need my Pad Studio. I need to make a new folder. This new folder is gonna be DoodlePad. I know I have the gayest names, but what can I say? It's just how I do things. Let's see. Program files. In program files, I need a folder to be resources. Within resources, I need to have a folder named images. It's only going to carry like maybe one image, which is going to be the icon for the window, but I mean, just in case, it's there. No harm done. Source code is also going to go in here, so within program files, I'm going to make another folder, I'm going to call it source. So any source code I write is going to be there for everybody to see, and I can do what they like with it and use this as a basis maybe for their own applications. But that is ready when we go into the folder, where I'll be dropping in the DoodlePad once it's ready to be shipped off, which probably won't be tonight, but let me get started with the class definition. So this is going to be public DoodlePad, or public class DoodlePad. I can make DoodlePad extend the JFrame, but not in this case because I'm going to be doing a lot. And why did I put parameters in a class? These are questions I cannot answer. I need to do a public DoodlePad. This is going to be the constructor for this class. So whenever this class is called or created, it's going to run this code within this block. I also need to add the main method because this is a class that is going to be, the whole program is going to be in this one class. This class will contain the whole program, and I might write a separate class for objects, which would be what I paint onto the panel, which is, you'll see. So let me do a public static void main with a string array of arguments. It's going to be the main method here. The main method is simply going to deploy DoodlePad. Only thing I need the main method for. If I ever get more complex with this, I might use the main method to pass arguments, depending on the computer look and feel, the GUI, if it's on Mac, if it's on Linux, to accommodate. But nobody really uses my software, so I don't really need to worry about it. So a new DoodlePad will be created. Within DoodlePad, we can get started. Okay, so within this constructor, I need to create a JFrame. The frame is going to be the window. But what I can do is, I can use something that I've already created, which is called the frame wizard. The code is right here. Real quick, before I get ahead of myself and get into this, I should really check my stream and make sure that you guys can read the code that I'm writing. It's kind of hard, if it's in a lower quality for you to see what's going on here. So let me go ahead and take a look and then look back in time. We're all looking back in time. I won't call it necessarily readable, but I'd call it readable. Yeah, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Any complaints, let me know. I'm all down for complaints. Doesn't bother me. Let me think here. So basically, I'm going to do the frame wizard. It's going to build the JFrame. The public, actually, it doesn't really be public. It's going to be one class in a default package. So it's going to be frame wizard fw equals a new frame wizard. What frame wizard does, in the case of my class, I'm going to show you the source code. The frame wizard allows for a less cluttered code when you create a JFrame. Basically, you take your frame wizard and you run the config frame method. You enter all the parameters along with the frame you want to configure, and it configures the JFrame with all these methods, the required methods to properly set up a JFrame for use, right there. And then it returns back the JFrame. So in one line of code, or 1.5, I guess you could call it, if you have to tab it, it's going to be a huge, I mean, all these parameters, it's going to be huge. But so in technically 2 lines of code, you can do all this and create the JFrame. I create a lot of windows because a lot of the stuff that really counts when you're learning is stuff that you can see and visually understand what's going on. So this is perfect. So we're going to take our frame wizard, we're going to import it. So we need to import the frame wizard. Oh, why'd you put it up there? That's not where you belong. We're going to import the frame wizard right down here, outside of the class. I'm going to import everything inside the graphics, just in case I need more. I mean, it's just good practice to import everything. Let me see. So importing from af.graphics, we're going to import the frame wizard. I'm just retracing my steps here. The first thing we do is create a new JFrame. So I also should do. One of the things I do a lot out of bad habit is to make my doodle pad extend JFrame. That turns this entire class into a JFrame. Now I forgot that say. But if it extends JFrame, it becomes a JFrame. Technically bad practice within a class, but you can still do it that way. For my games, I definitely do it. I mean, for the runtime in a game, and in my little game engine that I create, it's always best to extend the JPlane, which is just a component section that you put inside. Just gives you more control over everything. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and create the JFrame. So this is going to be the window for the application. This window is going to be a JFrame, and it's going to be called mainframe. It's going to be equal to a new JFrame. I don't know why I set the P in there, but apparently I wanted to be in there. So now we need to import this right here. We need to import the package that JFrame is in. So it's going to be Java x.swing. Okay. Now we imported swing and we're good to go. We have a JFrame to use. Other than that, we close that up. We can run config on the new JFrame. So we can run mainframe. Oh wait, actually we need to do it this way. We take our our frame wizard and we need to config the frame. And we're going to put the main frame. We're going to put the title. So the title of the main frame is going to be Duplicate. I also put it like we're going to put I can't talk. Put a little fancy stuff in there. So I'm going to do the I'm going to go up here actually. I'm just going to make a string for the software version. Makes it so if you anywhere you put in, maybe put like an info section in your application, or you have it in the title what version this application is, you can just use this final variable called version and just put it wherever. So you come to one place to change the version of the application, it changes it wherever you have it referenced. So in this case, it's going to be a public final string. So it's just going to be a string of text. Final variables are in all capitals, so well, it's best to put them in all capitals. You can do it any way you want and put it like that and it'll take it. But it's a final variable, so it's going to be version. Version is equal to, and this is 2.0 technically, even though this is brand new software. This is the second time I'm ever making my application called DoodlePad. I ever sent you my application DoodlePad before? Anybody on Facebook? Please send it back to me because I miss it. But I'm making a 2.0. It's going to be better. The next is an icon. So the best way to do it, and I do it pretty well in the Launchpad application right here, but to make this one parameter without having to do anything cluttered is simply just to go ahead and take a, oh, here I did the Launchpad icon. But basically, you can do a icon image, because it's going to run icon.getImage, so you just want to give it an image icon. And a image icon is just basically an image icon. It's brought in through the I/O, the Java I/O, and that just throws it in there. It's real plain and simple. It's nothing advanced. In other cases, you'd use like a buffered image, something that would be use it accordingly, like for a video game image character, like a 2D game. You'd want to use a buffered image. Here, it's just going to be a static image on the corner of the window. So we're just going to go ahead and do new image icon. It's going to ask for a parameter, or it might not, but just to be sure that we're not passing anything, we're going to do no. Actually, that's ambiguous. Jesus, I can't tell. We're going to put empty string in there. Here we put the file name, but right now there's no file, so it stays blank. Here's the size. The size is a dimension. As you can tell from looking at the source code here, you can see that the next parameter is a dimension. That is the size of the frame. I'm thinking since DoodlePad was about a, I can't check through Launchpad. Launchpad was about a 350 by 450. I might want to do the standard 800 by 600. So let's go ahead and do it that way. Let me get rid of this code because it keeps distracting me, but basically I want to go ahead and just do, I want to do new dimension. This new dimension is going to be 2 values. But for these 2 values, I also want to do another comment out here outside of my constructor. I want to make the window sizes so I can access them whenever I need to. This dimension is going to set the size of the window, but it's also going to set the, actually, you know what? It might be best not to include this dimension right now, because I do want, you know what? I technically shouldn't add that in there. I should add the size like this. It's best not to, let's see, hold on. I'm gonna override this. I'm gonna do new dimension. I need to import dimension apparently. So let me import everything with AWT. This dimension is gonna be just 0, 0. It's gonna give me like the smallest little window ever, but that's best because I'm gonna go ahead and after I add the components to my window, I'm gonna pack everything in and the window is going to stretch around the components inside the window, so this dimension is not valid. I'm eventually going to add some code to this frame wizard, maybe a second method in there, that keeps the size out. This right here. Or just run some more code if you were, if you decide not to include a size, if you're going to pack the window yourself. But here I'm just going to put the dimension in and then override it. Right here it wants to know if it wants to know the relative location. In this case, actually, what did it ask me for next? It's asking if it's resizable. If you want your window to be resizable, I want it to be false. I don't want people to be able to resize my window. Next step is where you want your window to be created. I want my window to be created right in the center of the screen, so that's null. There's going to be nowhere special I want it created. Just create it right in the middle. Layout is also going to be, we'll make the layout a new flow layout. So which means it's just going to put it in a standard place, wherever it can fit it, one after the other, it's going to flow. All the components I put on my window are just going to flow together. So this is called a flow layout. Next is the close operation. What happens when you press the X? And I just want it to exit on close. And it also needs to be JFrame dot exit on close. So my JFrame will exit on close. And the next thing to do is to bring it down to a second line to make it look pretty. And the main frame, I put a dot. Main frame dot set visible true. Now it should be just a little tiny window with nothing in it but the buttons. There you go. Well, I can set resizable to true, so I can show you that the title of the new window is indeed doodlepad. Also, I'm going to doodlepad, and I want to I'm going to basically concat my string of version onto there, so it's a doodlepad 2.0. So doodlepad plus the version. So now we have doodlepad 2.0. Plain and simple. It's not that hard to follow once you get into it. I'm just showing you guys the concepts of writing software horribly, because I cannot type and spell words and do stuff because I'm not too good at the whole streaming thing yet. So still trying to figure out how I do all this and share my intelligence. But anyway, back to this. The last thing you want to do is set it visible. That's the very last thing you ever want to do. You want to add everything. You want to run everything that needs to be run and set up everything that needs to be set up before you display anything to your user. My user does not want to see anything that is unfinished. It won't show it anyway. If I show the frame and then say add my menu bar right here, it will not display my menu bar because it's added after the frame is displayed. So in this case, I need to go ahead and I need to start working on this. This is going to display the frame. I might have some issues with this frame wizard. This frame wizard might have to go, but depending on how this all turns out, it should be okay. To display the frame, I need to go ahead and I need to do mainFrame.pack. I'm going to resize my window and allow it to stretch to the components that are attached to it. And then I'm going to call a method to create the GUI. And that method, I'm going to go ahead and call it, well, I can just call it create GUI, but I'm going to do initiate GUI. Well, the very first method when we run this program, so let's go ahead and write this. This is going to be a public void init GUI. Actually, you know what? Let's do it like this. Let's do it a little more modular. Okay, we're gonna call it create menu bar. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and start making the menu bar for the program. I'm gonna use Launchpad as a reference to this. I believe I made the menu bar as this is huge, but I made it as small as I possibly could. There's a lot that has to be done to the menu. Um, as you can see down here on lines number, let's see, lines from lines 234 and down. This right here, the action performed. These are the actions that the buttons on my menu bar do. There's only 4 buttons, but these all call methods from the action command that I set in. I have to set each action command right here. So let's get started and go ahead and start creating this menu bar. Alright, so we need to add the menu bar here. We're going to do it all locally. By doing it all locally, we save ourselves having to write in this area and create variables that are accessed all around. It's simply just going to be a menu bar. So this menu bar is just going to run commands and methods when clicked on. So no other parts of this program are going to need to touch the menu bar objects themselves, so they can be created within a method. So we'll start by doing a menu bar. Menu bar equals new menu bar. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add things to the menu bar. So what I want to do is I want to do menu, and the first one should be file. So menu file equals new menu. Within this, I will put the title. So the title of this is file. Okay. Now these aren't used yet. They're not applied to the frame. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll make a little indent right here, and we'll go ahead and do main frame dot add. And we'll just go ahead and actually first we should set the menu bar. Set the menu bar. And we'll set it to menu bar. Now the whole reason that the main frame is created outside of the outside of any method or constructor is so I can access this within the program itself at any part of the program. This menu bar is a local variable within this method and cannot be accessed from anywhere else except for right here. But I can still set it and configure it and then add it to the frame right here. So what we'll do is we'll do mainFrame.set menu bar to the menu bar. And then we need to go ahead and take the file object, which is going to be a menu. We're going to add it to, and we'll take the menu bar, make another little indent for adding things to the menu bar. The menu bar dot add. We need to add a menu to the menu bar, which the menu is going to be file. It's probably creating a GUI probably the most boring and like repetitive thing. It can get also really confusing, but at the same time, it's just I gotta do this a bunch of times. I got my file now. I'm gonna space all this out. I'm gonna clean it all up when I'm done. This is just for memory right now. But I have my menu bar, I have my file menu, and I have my menu bar added to there. I mean my file menu added to my menu bar, and my menu bar finally added to my frame. So with this method being run, my frame being packed, and then setting visible, it should allow me to have this for you guys. File. Basically, I have a little menu here, it doesn't do anything yet, but I'm going to change that all in a second. I'm going to make yet another indentation and do a menu item section, where I define my menu items. This menu item is going to be equal to, well, actually, this menu item is going to be called open. Menu item open is going to be equal to a new menu item. Oh, what am I doing here? this new menu item is going to go ahead and be called open. Now with all this, if I come back here and go off on a tangent again, and I show you QuickPad Slim, here it has these things right here where it says Control plus O will cause that, and Control plus S will cause that. I'm also going to do them. They're called mnemonics. They are going to basically be the keyboard shortcuts. Now I'll add those to each one of these menu items. Just right now, for simplicity, since I'm just trying to keep this video short and sweet, much like an introduction and not really a lesson on Java, but a little concept video to see if you'd like creating software. This isn't the best example, but it's something that I'm going to be rolling. It's my own personal project, so what I need to do next is I need to add open to the file menu. So file.add open. So now let's go back to this. We have a menu bar that we just created. We made a small sub menu called file. We created a menu item called open, and we added the menu item open to file. And then finally we added the file menu to the menu, and then we added the menu bar itself to our frame that we created. So now we should have this file. I hover over it and it says open. It's also, like I said, it's packed, which means that the size of this is going around the whatever components are in here. So right now there's a menu bar in here, so it's going to be wrapped around that menu bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment out this just to prove the concept here. The menu bar is now not added to the main frame, and you can see it's much smaller. The menu bar does no longer exist. Now it's added again. We added it back. So let's see here. I could populate the entire menu bar, but what I want to do is I want to move on to the next step here. Because I'm going to cut this video short and just give kind of the setup, and then in part two, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the complete functionality to the ToolPad application. First, I want to write the public void create canvas. The JPanel I'm going to use is going to be called the canvas in my eyes. I'm going to use it as the canvas for drawing. So the next is to create the canvas. So I'm going to do create GUI, create and fonts, the GUI. After we create menu bar, we are going to create canvas. So when a DoodlePad object is created, it configures a JFrame, it creates and applies a GUI, and it displays the frame, which is run in the main method here, which is run when you double click the executable draw file is going to be in. So that's your hierarchy right there for all you people that understand what I'm talking about. Let me see here. The menu bar is basically complete. I'm going to keep this code looking ugly and all spaced out until I'm finished with the menu bar itself. Then I'll comment everything out. I'm just, with these little comments that explain what each section of code is doing. So now I'm going to leave that. Next is going to be the canvas. It's going to be, and now this needs to be declared out here. Painting canvas is going to be the name of this. This is going to be a JPanel named canvas, be equal to a new JPanel. Okay, I also need to make some variables out here. The canvas size, and these are going to be final variables. I'm going to put this public declare off here. It doesn't mean public. It's going to be a final int width and a final int height. The width is going to be, let's do 800 by 600, the very standard image size. So the canvas size are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and take my canvas and I'm going to set the properties of the canvas. So canvas properties. So go ahead and let's start with setting the size of the canvas. So the canvas dot set preferred size is going to be a new dimension. And this time this dimension is actually going to have some values added to it. Instead of just 0, 0, I'm going to add the width and height. So the parameter it's going to take is width, comma, height. And that is the new parameters in there to create the dimension and set the preferred size. Next, we'll go ahead and do the canvas, and we're going to set it to focus more. So when you click on it, it's actually gaining the focus. So your mouse, when you click, will be able to interact with my panel instead of just ignoring it as if it wasn't there. So it's going to be set focusable to true, just to make sure. Next, for proof of concept, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do mainframe. I'm going to comment this out because this code is going to stay. I'm also going to space it because there's more code that needs to go in here. This is going to be adds the canvas to the JFrame. This is going to be mainframe.add. This comment basically, you can read this in English and understand what it does, but this comment is a key point in the code that is separate from the properties. So I go ahead and comment it out just for someone that's scanning through this. I need to find out where we configure the JFrame. Well, configure JFrame. There you go. We're going to add the canvas. Now, if I'm as good as I say I am, we should have a 800 by 600. There we go. With file at the top and open. From there, I'm going to go ahead and open up this. One problem here is that with my frame configure, it's setting the location to nothing, which is going to make it pop up in the middle after it sets the size right here, which is causing it to, if I click this, start right here instead of starting right here in the middle. That I don't like. That's why I was thinking about removing this frame wizard and just doing it the hard way. For the sake of the fact that I haven't gone through and optimized this class yet, I just kind of built it to reduce the amount of code I need. So I'm going to deal with it for now, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to prove a little bit of a concept here. I'm going to go ahead and override the paint method in the canvas right here. So what I could do is I'm going to do dot paint. I want to do graphics. G. Oh, hold on. Let me think about how I'm going to paint this canvas. What I might do, yeah, I'm going to do here. Let's ditch this method. Let's ditch this too. I need to override the paint component of the canvas. And I want to do that by painting to it in a different way. So we'll create the menu bar and everything, and then we'll add the canvas in later. What I want to do is I want to make a brand new class for the canvas and make it much easier to manipulate the canvas if I just do it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Java class. I'm going to call it canvas. In this class, I'm going to go ahead and extend JPanel. Then go ahead and go back here and I can get rid of the canvas sizes and the panel canvas. I don't need it. That can go. So now we're looking good here. So we're going to input the J panel through swing. And in this case, we're going to need it to add a serial ID to this. That's just for the Java virtual machine to check the version of this this GUI component. It's not really anything you have to worry about that much. Create the constructor here. This constructor is going to go ahead and basically run the properties. And when the canvas is created, it's going to basically, when a canvas object is created, it's going to run this code right here to set my properties again, which was this, because now this is, again, this entire class is a JPanel. So whatever methods I called before on my canvas, I can call by typing this. So this itself, I need to set my preferred size. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm writing two, a width and a height. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the canvas size, and that's going to be a final dimension. I'm going to call it this underscore size. Be equal to a new dimension. This new dimension is going to be equal to 800 by 600. I'm going to import dimension really quick. And by doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and import all of AWT, which is Advanced Window. I forget what the T stood for. I need to go back and look that up. I'm slacking. There's all the other programming languages I've been messing with lately, and I can't remember that one. It's basically a library that's built into Java for you to use, just a bunch of tools. I'm going to pass canvas size into here, and it's going to set the preferred size. And we're going to go ahead and do this dot set focusable, and focusable is going to be set to true. So I'm going to cut this video off once I get this, and I'm going to prove my little concept of why I created a separate class to do the drawing with the mouse onto the screen. It'll all come full circle, so I'm going to show you this. Just to ensure everything is doing well, I'm going to go ahead and take rid of this, get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and take and change this to create GUI, and do mainFrame add. And then for the component parameter that I'm going to add onto my frame, let me also change this back to the correct method here, GUI. I'm going to add a new canvas that I just created. And that should do the same thing that I just had written there in a different method. Give me a wonky set like right here, DoodlePad 2.0. And a big canvas right here for me to paint onto. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to override the paint component of this method, of this object, this JPanel, by doing public paint component. I'm going to pass the graphics key. It's a void paint component. It's just a method, so it's not returning anything. It's a void method. It's just running code. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint to this canvas real quick. So g.fill. Right. I'm going to go ahead and do the top corner, which would be 0, 0 of the, if you imagine it as a coordinate plane. I'm going to finish this out real quick, actually. I'm going to do canvas size dot width by canvas size dot height. Okay, I'm grabbing the width and the height from my dimension to add it into here. And first, let me set the color I want to paint this in. Let's just do a test color, not pink this time, which I did in my last video. It's kind of stupid. I'm going to do color. I'm going to set the color of my painting component to, let's do a stock color, green. Why not? I'm going to paint green onto the canvas, starting at the top corner, which is x0, y0, and it's going to paint it as big as the width of the canvas. So what you should see is this right here. Now this I'm gonna turn to a different color. This white border right here. This white border is a buffer between the frame and the J-pane in the middle. That's created due to the flow layout that I used. I set this to null. In turn, it should just remove the buffering altogether. Actually, in that case, it kind of destroyed itself. Um, the reason for that is that that component is now created nowhere. There's no place for it. So adding that flow layout back so I can set the panel underneath the menu bar makes it visible and the frame knows to act around it. But with that done, we have a 800 by 600 painting canvas where I can use the mouse listener that I'm going to create in the next video to add the functionality to paint, and then add functionality to change the background color, to add the paint bucket tool, everything that you'd need similar to a zoomed down version of Paint itself, the Microsoft Paint. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this small little video of me blabbing about this and not making that much sense, talking gibberish. I'm not that good at explaining it. It is programming. It's something that's very difficult to explain. It's like, how do I explain it? I can't. But this application, I'm going to every time I work on it, I'm going to go ahead and stream or create a video, record myself working on this application, and you can see my little painting application go from start to finish. And then when it's finished, you'll see it on my website for download, all along with the source code and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. I guess it's back to my face. I cannot tell. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get used to actually talking and streaming. I'm kind of awkward, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you guys are interested in what I'd like to do. I'll see you. I'll see you in the next video. All right.